Hi there, I'm Ahsan Ali Shaw, and you're watching me on YouTube and Facebook Live. Today we are going to talk about principle of healthy lifestyle and well-being. When we talk about healthy lifestyle, then society, media, and people have created a perception of healthy lifestyle and well-being as following the diet, food, and nutrition. Of course, food, diet, and nutrition are an important and significant part of a healthy lifestyle. The question is, are they everything? No. There are many other elements involved in the establishment of healthy lifestyle. And those elements are, there are eight elements, and those elements uh, uh, are air that we breathe in, oxygen, and water that we drink. It should be clean, it should be clear and transparent. And the sunshine, it gives us vitamin D. Uh, and the relationships we are involved in, they should be healthy. They should be promoting, encouraging. They should be, the relationships that you involved in, they should make us feel happy. And the food that we drink, it should be organic and not industrially processed food. It should be the whole food, not the industrially processed food. And seventh is the sleep. Yeah, we should get 6 to 8 hours of sleep every day. And it uh, is the passion. A passion is all about a passion, your interest, your hobbies should have a place in your healthy lifestyle. And that's our topic for discussion today is principle of healthy lifestyle and well-being. And we are going to have a roundtable discussion, and my guests are, one second. My first guest is Jackie McGraw. She has joined us from Victoria, Australia. My second guest is
Queensland.
Gary Murk. Yeah, and he is joined as Gary Murk. He is a modern day shaman, and he has joined us from Alberta, Canada. And his the third guest is Ariella Strauss. He has joined us from the US. How are you guys?
Very
uh,
well, thank you.
yeah, hot. It's
Yes.
warm here in It's warm here in Alberta. There's a few people. Anyways, I was gonna say something, but I won't.
Okay. And thank you. There are some people there joining us. And if you can't see your comments, can't see your name, then just click on the link, StreamYard link, give permission StreamYard to show your name. Then only then I'll be able to see your name. And now the healthy lifestyle, principle of healthy lifestyle and well-being. I'm gonna start our discussion with Gary Merck.
Oh boy.
Gary, yeah, when we talk about the principle of healthy lifestyle and those elements, the first element, and you most of the time you also talk about air and the water that we drink and the sunshine.
Yeah.
And now uh, uh, elaborate the significance of air,
Well,
water, and the sunshine.
let's start with light. Okay, sunshine.
Mhm,
Without
mhm,
sunshine, life doesn't exist. Not on the
mhm,
planet, not in the way that we understand it. You know, plants need sunshine. We need sunshine. Everything that's alive needs sunshine, and the sun is what delivers this sun to or sunshine to us. This light. But we also
mhm,
need the aspect of clean water. And clean water is a God-given right. We're it's there for us. But in today's system, what kind of water are we drinking? You know, what's in the water supplies? You know, if you really analyze your water supplies, most people think that, well, it's only got chlorine or chloramine, and in some cases it's got fluoride. Well, there's three chemicals that are right now that are not good for you. But, drink chlorine straight up and see what it does. It'll burn out your entire system. Okay, drink fluoride straight up. It'll burn. It's caustic. These are caustic chemicals. Those are three elements in the water, but there's more than that. Okay, if you want to really understand what's in your water, everything that we exchange in some form or mannerism comes back to us. You'll find micro traces of multivitamins. You'll find micro traces of antidepressants. You'll find all sorts of stuff in that water supply. Okay, and now the air. Wow, what a debate that one can be. Because how much oxygen are you truly breathing? What's the quality of the oxygen? If you're living in the city, you can't tell me you're breathing clean air. I mean, that there's no debate there. You're breathing toxicity from all of everything that's being emitted into that airspace. And then if we want to go into the rabbit hole, well, what are they putting in the air through, cloud sprays and things like this, and manipulations of the environment? And what is exactly in that chemical that they're bombarding the airspace with? So three elements that's a God-given right is air, water, and light.
Yeah.
Well, somebody's playing around with the air, water, and light. Okay, so
Mhm.
it's detrimental to all life, not just us humans. I mean, I look around at the garden space. In the garden space, if I use tap water, some plants actually die. If I use the pond water, they grow 2 to 3 times the size. So what's the difference? Somebody said, well, water's water. No, it's not. Okay. Here's water
Mhm.
that's, bioorganics. It's got fish stuff. It's got fish poop. It's got fish pee in it. And somebody said, well, you're going to drink that water? I'll drink this water rather than drink the tap water. I'll bathe in this water rather than bathe in the tap water. If I take a shower in the tap water here, which is extremely hard, it's almost it's like sandblast. It's stripping off the lipidic barrier of what protects your skin, and then afterwards it's like, God, I feel like I got ants all over me. So if that water is supposedly pure and clean and so on, why is my skin crawling like I just rolled around in a bunch of itching powder? And the hardness comes from what? Well, the hardness comes from a lot of things. Fluoride exists naturally in the waterways. In micro quantities. It's not in tap water that says it's an anti-cavity. So you don't get cavities. Like, really? Okay, you don't get cavities because you brush your teeth and you eat right. It's got nothing to do with the water. So that's a mind. I promised somebody I wouldn't use that word tonight. Okay, and it's a hard one, and I want to pull it out. Okay, but you know, we can get the perspective from. I'd like to know from Jackie, from like where she is in her world, part of the world, in regards to water and air quality and so on, and the same thing with Ariel, because I think there's a lot of common points that are there. We understand the water from the tap. Look, I mean, if I cook potatoes in this water, the potato has a smell. Why? Why, when I cook it in the water from the tap, it has no smell, it has no taste, it bleaches out? Versus if I cook it in the natural waterway, it has flavor, it's a little bit more flavorful, it has a little bit of an aroma, even the color of the water is different. So, common sense says, well, my potato tastes better in this water than this water. Why? We don't question this. We assume that it's okay for us. Anyways, next person. Jackie, lady in
Okay.
red.
Yeah,
Yes.
totally agree with
Okay.
that. Right?
Yeah. Okay. Gary has talked about the air, oxygen, air, water, and sunshine from the environmental perspective. Jackie, I want you to focus on uh, from the to talk about the air, water, and the significance of air, water, and sunshine from the spiritual perspective. How important are they spiritually?
when I think of air, I think of the breath straight away. And the our breathing, our lungs is such a good way to one of the ways that we detox. Okay, so if we're just taking in so much crap into our body through the air, and then we're having to our body has to work so hard to detox all these chemicals out of our body. So our air's got, all the chemicals that they spray in. And if somebody tells me they don't do it, they only have to come here to the Gold Coast or anywhere in the world, probably just look up in the skies. And it's condensation because there's line after line after line, plain line after line, in lines like that, and crisping. And, you only have to look up. And we also here have a rainmaking act, which you probably have too, and that's the starting of weather engineering as well. But going back to the air that we breathe, the breath is so important to us. Obviously, no breath, there's no life. And, that's one of the ways really to keep healthy and well is to just concentrate on our breathing, and also because it's a good elimination pathway as well. It's really good to get those lungs really expanding. And, especially today when we're all so stressed, we do our breathing up here. And you really need to concentrate on getting it right down into your belly and expanding everything and massaging all your organs and your intestines and just it's so very important for our well-being. There's many different types of breathing you can do. So that's one thing that's really important, Also, with the water, our water is really bad too. You can smell the chlorine. I have filters through, even on my shower, I have filters, like Gary was saying. And I noticed because one of my filters is not on properly in my shower. If I shower upstairs, where the filter's proper, I just feel so much better. When I'm in the shower downstairs, I come out feeling really crap, and I'm sure it's what I'm breathing in through the vapors, all the chlorine and the fluoride. And look, we know through time, Gary talking about the fluoride and our teeth. Why do we think that dentists are so in proliferation everywhere? Because fluoride has not improved our teeth at all.
Nope.
The health of our teeth. So that's just a given. I mean, that's fluoride is just to, calcify our pineal glands as far as I'm concerned. And, and there's so many
Sunshine.
things that are now geared to stopping the way we access that inner truth. Sunshine, so important. I'm always down the beach and in the sunshine, and for the vitamin D, we really need the vitamin D, and we actually do store vitamin D. So we need to get out as much as we can while the sun shines out there, and just store that vitamin D in our body for the times when the dark winter days when we haven't got as much, so we still have access to that in our body. Yeah. Is that what you want me to talk about at the moment?
Yes, and
I'm happy to
thank you,
keep
Sydney.
going.
Thank you, Amanda, and other people for your wonderful comments. And now I'm gonna move to Ariella. Ariella, you are a twin flame priestess, air, water, and sunshine. I want also the same question to you: the significance of air, water, and sunshine from the spiritual and twin flame perspective. How important are they in moving and keeping your spirit up or your energy up? Air, water, and sunshine.
Yeah. Well, thank you for asking, and Gary might appreciate this coming from the shaman perspective and Native American. Let's look into. So you spoke about the earthly parts of it, how good for it is with us, and being out in the sun actually gives us, as long as you're not in it too long, it's like me. I'm skin sensitive with my lupus, so it can actually burn my skin and everything. But on a spiritual level, like when I'm doing my prayers and I'm I'm trying to say, I guess, invoking, when I'm speaking with the gods and goddesses, I call them the different elements. I call them all four corners of the earth, air, fire, water, and the other one, which is the soul or the spirit. Some people forget about that. How is it spiritually important? To me, it lines up me spiritually. It keeps me focused, not only physically but mentally. So again, it lines up, it centers. You could say it lines up your chakra. And I'm still learning about chakras, so maybe Gary or Jack, you might know more about that. But it is very important in the spiritual sense, because you're calling all the elements together from, again, all four corners of the earth. So that's my perspective on it. On a twin flame level, I'll just say, let's take away that label. On a soul connection level, it also brings, and I'm not saying this like your astrological sign or when you were born, like are you fire, or just like I'm a Leo and that's fire, but I'm not talking about that. I learned this from my creative writing class with a friend of mine who's actually a yogi teacher and a shaman as well. He said, what element is within you? And you don't have to be born under that sign, if that makes sense. So with me, it's still fire. But this week I had to balance the earth sign. And what that meant, I had to, as much as creativity and fire, in a good sense, if you use it properly, it elevates you. You shine more. It has this big, powerful energy, if you get what I'm saying. But the earth element, bringing it in, it helps calm you down, but not wipe you out like a campfire. It helps center you. So us using all these different elements combined, that can help center us. That, at least in my experience, it has spiritually. So hopefully I didn't confuse the listeners, and Gary or Jackie could probably expand on that as well. So it is very
Yes.
important.
Gary, you talk about air, water, and sunshine from the environmental perspective. You are a modern day shaman, you are a spiritual guide, and you have helped many people. And I want you to focus on the significance of air, water, and sunshine from the spiritual perspective, and from the energy perspective. How important are they to uh, to
Well,
to move your energy up and help you to meditate and
clo-
breathe.
close your eyes and step outside. Okay, just
Mhm.
just close your eyes and step outside and let the sun come upon you. How do you feel? Okay, how does it make you feel? How does it make your energy feel from the inside? It's kissing your skin. Your skin is absorbing it. This energy is transmutating throughout the entire inner part of who you are. It's vibrating you. It's waking you up. Many of us waken up even before the sun has rose because we feel it energetically. I am, for one, like this. The sun doesn't matter, what the alarm clock says. I'm awake before the sun's coming up because I sense the rise. My spirit is sensing the rise of the sun, and it's calling for me to step out and embrace that light because my energy needs that energy to lift it up a little bit. Okay, what is it doing to my mindset? Well, 5 seconds, actually 5 minutes outside, and my vitamin D level is risen for a good couple of days. I mean, even if I miss 2 days of sun, I've gotten a recharge of that inner spiritual battery, if we want to call it. Okay, it's gone, like boom, boom. Okay, same thing with the air. The air is not just what I'm breathing through my nostrils and my mouth. Your skin breathes. Your hair breathes. Everything is taking in oxygen. So if you want to get the best of oxygen, walk outside nude. Okay? Let the sun baste your body nude. Let the air baste your body nude. The same thing with the water. These three elements are almost a trinity. Well, they are a trinity. And look at the body, mind, and spirit, or body, mind, and soul. My body requires these elements. My mind requires these elements. And so does my spirit. In order for my spirit and my essence of spirituality to be one off grounded, but also empowered for me to go about my day and deal with the demands that are upon me, I need to charge that inner fire. Well, the sun charges that inner fire. Okay, the air that I breathe, where I'm sitting right now, there is the elements of all three: the light, the water, and the air. The quality of the air where I'm sitting right now is different from the quality of the air 20 feet away from me. So negative ionization is happening. That's feeding my system, feeding my spirit. The humidity is at a right level, 23 to 33% humidity. Versus if I step over 20 feet away, the humidity is up higher and the heat is up higher. So we're drawn to these elements spiritually as much as we're drawn to these elements through our intuition and also through that of the mind and the need of the body. There are those that call themselves breatharians, and breatharian means that that's all they survive on is air. And then there is aquarians, they survive on water. Well, that's a whole other ball of wax before we go into that, okay? But the essence of what is it doing to me spiritually? I close my eyes and I can see where I'm walking. My spirit knows where I'm going. My spirit is guiding me. It's helping me follow my space. It's helping me find water. It's helping me find, proper air. It's helping me find the sunshine. Even a blind person can see the sunshine. They feel it upon them. So their essence of sight is not what they're seeing through the natural physical side of the sight, but their heart is seeing it. So is your heart that of your physical outside, or is it that of your spirit and your soul? You're recharging that energy of heart. It feels good. How many of us lay in the beach and we go, and it feels beautiful. We feel happier and we feel more uplifted and we feel more empowered, and we also feel more welcoming to another. We have enough energy to go forward to deal with whatever that situation may be. So, in the essence of its spirituality, the three elements tie into the three elements of self: your body, your mind, and your spirit. And all simplicity needs all three elements. My take
Yes,
on that
indeed.
side of it.
Yes, indeed. And now I'm gonna move to the next element. The next element is the food, the organic food. The
Mm,
impact of organic food is on the significance of the raw food, the complete food, not the industrially processed food, in our lifestyle, in our healthy lifestyle. Now, I want Jackie uh, to discuss it.
Yeah, going just even the word raw, the
Mhm,
RA, it means sunshine.
mhm,
So so you've got that etymology of that word already, right? Sunshine. And and I agree, we need to eat high vibrational food, which is usually plant food, plant-based food.
mhm.
And another thing that Ariella was talking about with the chakras, we need to, if we can, to eat the full spectrum of the rainbow, because
mm,
that aligns with our chakras too. And there's a fasting type thing that you can do, which is amazing for your body and will bring up a lot of issues depending on the chakra, but it's walking the rainbow bridge. And that involves, some people do it for longer, for 7 days at a time for each color. But on your first day, based on your base chakra, you eat red foods. The second day, you will eat orange foods. The third day, yellow foods, then green, and so forth. The last 3 days can be your darker purple, bluish foods. We kind of blend those together, because it's not such a wide range. And as you eat the red foods, for example, it may or may not. When I did it, I had a lot of when I got to the green day, the green foods, that brought up a lot of different emotions for me, probably heart based things. So and it just clears and energizes that chakra in your whole body, just your whole energy systems. And you'll notice that you become so aware in nature of that particular color for that day as well. It's amazing that when you go in and select your red foods for that day, and that's all you can see in the supermarket, I swear, or your fruit shop and veggie shop, is the red foods everywhere. And then you'll start seeing it in nature. Whenever you pass something red on a tree, the flowers, you know, different coloured rocks, you'll notice that your senses are heightened towards that colour. So that's a really good thing to do if you can do that, you know, once or twice a year, is to visit the Rainbow Bridge. And really, you know, for that day I'll wear red as well. And it also coincides with the 7 musical notes, all those things. Everything is just also intertwined in this world that, you know, we can't help but just notice it. Just take the time to notice these things in our world. There's also, you know, there's the signature, the Doctrine of Foods, and the signature of foods, and that's that while all of the plant foods and nuts and seeds are really good for all of our body, there's also they're specific for a certain part of your body as well. So for example, if you had, you know, your eyesight wasn't that great, like they say, eat carrots. And if you notice, if you slice a carrot in half, what does it look like? It looks like your eye. There's a pupil and there's the iris around it, and you know, so we've got to really pay attention. You know, celery, it's long, it's bones, it's got 9.9% salt. It's like your bones. So you've got to really pay attention to what your body feels like when you go and buy food. It's not just, oh, this is my regular thing I buy. Just ask your body, what do you feel like today? Your body will tell you. You know what, you know, and I really want to mention avocados, because you look at an avocado slice, it's got the nut in the middle, and it looks like a pregnant belly, a pregnant woman.
Mhm.
And avocados actually take 9 months to ripen. Right now, you have an avocado throughout your pregnancy every day. It is said that you'll have, you know, a very good pregnancy and birth. You know, like
Yes, a birth
nature
of
is giving
ideas.
us everything.
Birth of ideas.
Mm.
And I know, Ariella, what is the significance of food, the raw food, and not the industrially processed food, in the establishment of healthy lifestyle and well-being?
Well, for me, again, it depends on each person. I guess it's also like an age thing. Things you could eat as a child or in your 20s or 30s, sometimes your body won't digest in your 40s, 50s, or as you get older, because your system changes. And for me, I know I was like reading the comments and also hearing other people on social media. I'm not only do I consume, you know, like plants, like you know, like the dairies, like broccoli, cheese, and rice is one of my favorite, you know, meshed up foods and everything. And I eat potatoes as well. But as far as meats, I stick with like chicken, because I used to be able to eat those other red meats, and I need it in my case because my iron's low anyways. But again, I just wanted to, you know, put here, each person is different, each body is different, and you need to be in tune with your body. And again, I'm not talking about processed food. I'm talking, the basics food. So whether you include meat in your diet or not, that's between you and your doctor and, you know, yourself, because you know your body better than others. But as I'm learning, the older that I'm getting, and again, I don't know if it's age or if it's because I heard like your body goes through these recycles every 7 years or something, you know. I'm just learning that mine is going more towards, except for dairy, like eggs and everything, mine's going more towards the plant and less meat. But I'm also being stronger out of it as well. But yeah, as long as you have a balanced diet and don't overindulge in one area or the other, I think it's very, very beneficial to you. Again, as long as you just keep a healthy diet. And I just want to bring this up. Some people turn it into a fad. You know, you see all these commercials like, you know, or eat this or eat this. I'm not talking about the processed food. Like they're trying to make like energy drinks or something. It might be good for you, but you got to also watch just listen to your body. That's the ultimate thing, is listen to your body. If something's not right, you might have to adjust your food intake or what you eat, or maybe just like with me with the chronic lupus, I found out I can't eat pork anymore. And I'm not going to name into the stuff I used to eat that I love and everything, but it inflames my joints. And I'm not allergic to it. I just can't, my body can't process it anymore, so I don't eat it anymore. But again, just listen to your body, and that'll tell you what you definitely need. So I think you just need to balance the right foods.
Yes, indeed. Listen to your body. What is your suggestion, Gary, in about the food in the establishment of healthy lifestyle and well-being?
Well, if we look at the established foods that are sold in the marketplace, then we understand why we're sick, for one. Okay, whether it's meat, whether it's vegetables, whether it's fruits, a majority of it is either covered with a pesticide, wax coating, or it's been subjected to GMOs and cross pesticides and herbicides and so on. Now, the debate of this is that, well, eat more organic. So if the farmer around the corner is not organic and the other one is organic, where is the truth in what is truly organic? If, in the essence of what is truly natural, well, its roots are still in the ground. Okay, so we can call it a natural food. Well, all foods are natural, whether it's meat, whether it's vegetables. And I'm not going to get into the debate whether being vegetarian or being vegan is better than the person that eats meat. It's about knowing the source of your food. The source of your food is, where did it come from? How was it farmed? What were the procedures? If you're eating something and you're getting an upset stomach, is it the way that it was farmed? Okay, even organic foods are farmed in mannerisms that are detrimental to the earth and detrimental to the lands. So, there's a big debate when it comes to our foodstuffs. The best food is the food that you grow yourself, is the food that you cultivate yourself. If you want to eat chicken, well, then take the onus to kill that chicken, but also do it in a mannerism that you know where the chicken has come from. You've had gratitude for the chicken, and it's the same thing as I have gratitude for the plants. I say thank you for the food that is being shared with me. Now, I'm not going to go into the debates of what's better and what's not. Your body knows what it needs. We are a nomadic culture. That's our basis. And we used to be able to go from one area to the next by looking at where we're going, picking foods along the route, the roots, vegetables. We harvested meat as well, and away we go. We'd harvest fish, and away we would go. So, in the way that it was in the originals, okay, or the ancient ways, well, we were part of nature and nature was part of us. And today, well, we're in four walls and air conditioning, and we're buying the stuff online, and we're going to the fast food stores, and we're going to the supermarkets, and we think because the sign says it's organic that it's organic. I have to debate that one because, we can put any type of a sign up and say that it is something that makes you believe it, right? So where's the truth? The only way I'm going to tell you that it's organic is I grew it myself. Now I know it's organic because I don't trust the system. I don't trust the food markets. I don't trust the person, that's trying to make money, more money because of it being organic, which is a big debate. We say that it costs more money to raise organic food. It takes a little bit more manpower, maybe. So it means you get to employ somebody, it means helps them survive, right? So, in the essence of the food, where and what is the source is the crucial thing to understand about your food. It is not about the diets, it is not about this, it is not about that. It is about what is the source of your food? What do you require? Everybody is different. Everybody has different tastes. I like ice cream. Some people don't like ice cream. Some people can't have ice cream. Well, I'm sorry you can't have ice cream. But I have ice cream. Okay. But again, it's to understand the source of it. If I look at my age at 60 years old, I look at the quality of my skin. I look at the quality of my energy. Am I eating 3 meals a day and snacks in between? No, I'm not. I'm eating 1 meal a day. I'm drinking lots of water. I drink my coffee, but I drink 2 to 3 cups of water for every cup of coffee that I have. So I'm balancing my system based upon the requirements that my body requires. I don't have problems with weight up and down. I'm not, some will say, well, you know what, you're kind of thin. Well, okay, fine. That's your perspective. I'm very healthy. Okay. I sleep, well, I sleep sort of. That's the whole other ball of wax. Okay. But the foods that I eat, I know their sources and I know how I feel afterwards. I also know how I feel when I eat something that's not good for me because my energy drops. So many people who are on diet or are following special ways of eating, many of them are taking supplements. Why are you taking supplements if the food is your source? You need both. You don't need to supplement. If your food has the right levels of nutrients, the right levels of vitamins, why are you taking supplements to boost your iron, boost this, boost your vitamin C, boost your vitamin D levels, and all of this? Why are you taking a supplement that's an artificial? It comes from your food. And that is the whole thing about the essence of food is that are you eating with what your body requires? That's
Yes, indeed. You are eating what your body requires. Now, the next element after sunshine, after air, water, sunshine, the food, and not the industrially processed food, the whole food that you organic. The question is, there's going to be a debate whether the food that we eat is organic or not. The whole other discussion we have it discuss it sometime, and we have already discussed it, and we will discuss it some other day. But
yes.
the next element in the development of healthy lifestyle is the role of relationships.
Uh-oh.
The relationships that you are involved in will play a significant role. Now I want Jack is laughing. She's having. I think she wants to talk about the relationship.
Okay, you broke up a little bit there for me, Hassan, but
Okay. Okay.
I got the
The
gist of it.
relationship. Uh,
I got the
the
gist
role
of
of
it.
relationship.
Relation.
Uh,
Yep.
mhm.
Relationships for me is with everything, not just people. It's your relationship with absolutely everything, and recognizing that everything is a part of you. Now, if you're in a toxic relationship, you've really got to see that that's touching your soul. It's like being dishonest, isn't it? So it's going to affect every part of your body, create stress, maybe create illness eventually from all those emotions that you're going through. We know stress is a huge thing in our lives with creating dis-ease in our bodies. So you really need to get relationships on track. And that's something I've, constantly working at with my family, my children, grandchildren, just trying to improve. Look at myself. Like, I noticed the other day, I just reacted so much from experience rather than seeing the situation for a new situation and going from there. I really let all these little things build up inside me and then exploded, and that's from past experience. That's what I've always kind of done, is just suppress things because I didn't want people not to like me and things like that. But I'm really learning to actually use my voice and speak in a kind way of what is and isn't acceptable for me. So relationships is a big, huge thing. If you're in a toxic relationship, really think either fix it up or get out of it, because it's not good for you, right? Every part of you it's not good for. The relationships when you go outside with, like, I went for a walk the other day through bushland, and I saw this lady coming, and I walked in front of her, and I always touch the trees and the plants and the leaves and things as I'm passing, and I say hello to them and things like that, and tell them I love them and silly things like that as we do. And this lady came up behind me. She said, "Oh, I'm so glad somebody else does what I do." And it's just so lovely to have that relationship with everything around you, that building of awareness, and I'm not always, I'm often in my head, with too many thoughts, but when you get in that stillness in nature, it just slows you down so much. So I think the relationship that we've got with everything around us, you know, when we're talking about relationships, consider everything around you. The relationship with the chair I'm sitting on, you know, just be grateful. Be grateful for things, everything, you know, your car when you get in it. I talk to my car. Thank you so much. I'm going to get a service for you soon. I know you need it. You know, but I know it sounds silly, but just to, when you go out, just have an awareness about everything, the way you speak to people, because that is the way you're speaking to yourself. Isn't it, Gary?
Oh,
When you, the
Yes,
yes.
way you
indeed.
speak to others,
Yeah,
you're
relationship.
speaking to yourself. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, and now I'm gonna ask this question to Ariella. Ariella, you talk about twin flames and the connections of souls, and relationship is also how the impact of relationship uh, in how it impacts our well-being, our health, our health and well-being.
Yeah, so I'm going to speak again more on the spiritual than the physical. It's ironic in a funny way. Once you find out that your soul connected to somebody, and as Gary said in previous, you know, I would say podcast or lives, like, you know, once you meet somebody and you establish that soul connection, you know, you're connected pretty much. And again, Gary could correct me with what he said correctly. But with the twin flame, and again, that's our yin and yang, the highest level soulmates. You know, it's just a label, but it's that highest energy. What found out ironic is when I established that soul connection. And again, people that are just, you know, listening now, I haven't physically met him, but I know who he is. He knows who I am. I can feel the changes, and I don't know what diets he's on now. I know he had to gain weight for a new show that he's, filming and everything and losing. It's like, wow, energy wise, I could feel when he's up and down. And I had to mute that transmutation. I had to mute, whatever he's bringing over because I don't need that. They all have a craving, and I'm along with Gary with mine. Even though I could snack off and on all day, but actual meals I eat once a day. But it's a big meal. It's not like a small one, but it's enough to carry me over. And but the funny thing is, I'll have, with this, when you're connected with different people in the soul connection, it's like sometimes you'll be craving stuff you never crave for. And it's like, where's that coming from? And for the women out there, it's not a pregnancy craving unless you're actually pregnant. But it's just you're picking up, and that's the census that we're using. I'm like, oh wow, we're actually connected. And sometimes you could try new food and discover new foods you like. So there's a strong connection soul to soul that goes beyond just physical. It actually goes with energy. But that being said, on the pendulum side or on the other side, you got to keep yourself well, because just like you can feel what they're going through, they can feel what you're going through, and you don't want to make each other sick, if that makes sense. So you got to keep both yourselves balanced and well. So at least that's my experience.
Yes, indeed. And Jackie, you talk about be grateful for everything, and Ariella, you talk about from the spiritual and soul connection perspective. Now, Gary, uh, uh, the significance of a relationship that you're involved in, how important is it for our health and well-being?
Oh, wow. That's everything. It's everything. Then it starts with the relationship of self. If you do not have a stable relationship with yourself, how the devil are you going to have a relationship with anybody, including a dog or a cat? Because what you'll do is you'll pour your emotional self into that animal rather than pour what you need to pour into you. Okay, balance yourself with your relationship of self-love, self-respect, self-appreciation, gratitude of self, gratitude of everything, the magnificent creature that you are. Look in the mirror. Who do you see? Okay, you're married to you. You can marry a million people, but at your last breath, the only person that you're going to be with in your physical body is you. So why are you going to be in a bad relationship with yourself and, be in bad relationships with others? The toxicity of those that are involved in a toxic relationship is because you're toxic with yourself. You can't blame the other one. You're toxic with yourself and the relationship with self. So guess what? You found somebody who's just as toxic as you are. Okay? Or you found your opposite that's just as toxic as you are. So you'll spend the next how many years just battling out with each other. Okay? Versus find the relationship with you. How how are you with self? I wake every morning, I look at myself in the mirror, I smile. Sometimes, okay, I'm a little bit baggy, but you know what? I didn't sleep a lot. Okay, so I'm okay with that. And then I don't need anybody to say to me, as for an example, well, Gary, you look tired. Well, you know what? I know. Okay, I am tired, but I don't need you to acknowledge it for me. I know for myself. So this relationship that I have with me is the most important relationship of all. Okay, I come first, not by ego, not by, eccentric, whatever. No, I need to be well with me so that I can offer to another the best of my person. So if I'm good with me, guess what? I'm good with you. If I'm good with me, I'm good with my food. If I'm good with me, I'm good with my environment. I walk with goodness with me first. The rest, it's not my choice. Many.
Oh, Gary, I think he is just disconnected. He was talking about you have to appreciate the relationships that you have with yourself. And when you have a good relationship with yourself, then you can connect better with the environment. And Gary, I think he's back. Uh, Gary, you were talking about the relationship that you have with yourself, and once you have a better connection with yourself, then you would be able to connect with the environment, with the nature, and with other people, and that's how
Well,
your life
look.
starts.
That's my lifestyle. Look at the people who have met me in person, who
Mhm.
work with me, or I've worked with them. Okay, they see how I am with my environment. My environment. I'm married to Gaia, if you want to say it that way. I'm married to the essence of life around me because I have an understanding of what I need of life for me. I know what my foods I need. I know my waters. I know the type of people I want around in my life. You know what? If you're negative, I don't want you around in my life. It doesn't mean I can't hold heart space for you. Okay. But it just means that there's a border, there's a limit. Okay. So I choose to engage or I choose to disengage, even if it's family. Some people say, well, how can you do that with your siblings, or how can you do that with your mother, or how can you do that with your father? Well, if they're toxic, why am I maintaining it? Seriously. Okay, I love them. I love them for who they are from a distance. I have a sign in my backyard that hangs up here. It says, friends are welcome and relatives are by appointment only. Why? Why? Think
Come on,
about it.
Gary.
I'm serious. I'll take a photo of it. It's right there in front of me. It says friends
Okay.
welcome and family. Oh, well, sorry, you got to take an appointment. Okay, there's a reason because in yeah. I mean, I know where I stand with somebody who is not my brother, my sister, my mother, my father. And rest in peace, my mother and my father. And I had beautiful relationships with them, but I was also had conflicting relationships with them. Okay, and you can't get away from your mother. You know that. Come on, it's like you try to get away from your mother. It's like it ain't happening. Okay, but there is a point when you can turn around and pull away and still acknowledge that she is my mother. I'll always respect her. I'll always have great love for her. But that doesn't mean I can sit at the table with her. It doesn't work. Okay, so why maintain it? Okay, if there's no open communication that's bilateral between you and the other, why are you forcing the issue? Why are you trying to change the other? Or why are you trying to change self to change for the other? You shouldn't have to do that. In fact, if you truly love, You love freely, willingly, openly. You put everything that you are into that relationship. But I'm only 50% responsible for the health of the relationship. The other owns 50% of the health of that relationship. I own 100% of what I put into it. No takeaways, no, okay, well, no, I don't own it. No, that's me. I put that into it. But again, the relationship, I only have 50% responsibility to it. But very few people understand the groups of relationships because we put it all together. I have a bad day at my office, I come home, I dump on my wife. I have a bad day with my wife, I go to my office, I dump on my coworkers. I dump on my friends. I dump on God and say, like, why not? All of this. These 5 relationships are independent relationships. They have boundaries, they have limits. Okay? If I have a bad day at my professional relationship, it stays in my professional relationship. It does not come home with me to be put on to the relationship of my friends, my lover, myself, or that of my higher power. It rests within that relationship in its boundaries and its limits, and it's dealt with there. I can talk about it. I can say, love, I had a bad day. I'd like to talk about it. Okay. But there's a way to talk about this. Not like, I'm not smiling at you. You smiled at me. You were waiting for me. You may have cooked a meal for me. And I come in the door and I got this long drawn out face and I'm not acknowledging you. Well, guess what? Now you don't want to sit down, have a meal with me because you're feeling icky and bad. So we have to understand the boundaries and the limits between the 5 groups. And those groups, again, the first one and the most important one is the relationship of self. The second one is the relationships that are your intimate relationships, your lovers, and everything else that goes along with that. Your relationships of friendship, your relationships of professionalism, and your relationship at the top spectrum is a relationship with your higher power. God is not responsible for my choice of misery. No, He didn't wish it upon me. He didn't say, well, you know what, I'm going to put you in this situation. I choose that situation. I own that situation. He watches and smiles. Enough of Mike.
Yes, indeed. And you talk about relationships, and relationships have different categories: relationship with yourself, with nature, with other people, with your colleagues, relationship with your parents, different categories. And all of these relationships, once we find a balance among these relationships, and it would impact you spiritually and physically, and in the development of your healthy lifestyle. Next element in the development of healthy lifestyle is passion. Uh,
Ooh.
the thing your interest, the things that interest you. And now I'm gonna start it with Jackie. Jackie, how passion and interest they should be aligned with our lifestyle, whatever your lifestyle is, whatever whether you work at night or whether you work during the day, living with your partner, everything, the passion, the things that interest you, the things you like, they should have a place in your lifestyle. Jackie, your take on it.
Passion is everything, isn't it? Creativity and passion. It's one of those things too. I think that if you were to sit down with someone and do a little bit of a pie chart with, they might be going okay with the water and the air and everything, but it's the passion part of it that really seems to fall down, as well as sometimes the exercise part of it. But we'll get into that later. But the passion, people just don't give themselves enough time to be creative, and I'm really one, I'm doing it more and more now, but one that is something for me that fell by the wayside because I got too busy with everything else in my life, and it was like in the end I didn't even know what I loved to do, and I was so creative as a child and growing up my teenage years and doing what I loved to do, but there was a point in time there where I forgot everything. So For me, I just started making slow movements to even just putting on music and dancing and being creative with my body, which I hadn't done for so long, and just letting my body move to the music and things like that. Or, starting to paint, which I'm not very good at it, but I just love the colors and doing stuff like that. Or, it's just all about bringing some creativeness back into your life, just imagination, and building a sandcastle on the beach. I did, and went walking for shells and built this sandcastle.
Oh,
And it's
wow.
just things that just bring you back to your childhood innocence, and just being creative and just having that joyfulness and doing something that you really love to do. And if you can do that in your life, find what you really love to do and make that what brings you in sustenance, as in, we all need money to live. So if you can get to that point and live your passion and just spark off everything, which is what, in today's day and age, is trying to suppress all our imagination, all our inner loves and wants and desires. It's all trying to suppress that at the moment. And if we can bring that back into our life, just little by little, I've started crocheting a hat for Adrian, which he knows, which is bringing me such joy to do that. And just little things like that, bring things back into your life, some time for yourself to sit with yourself and just and ask yourself, what would you really love to be doing at this moment in time, to bring your vibration up and your energy up. And we all need that at this point in time. It's all just being pressed, and as we know, you absorb all those energies from people too that's going on around at the moment. So you really need to take care of yourself and do things for yourself. Even like Gary, I'm looking at Gary now with that beautiful pond behind him, and it's bringing me such joy just to look at it, to hear the water, and to hear the little sounds that are going on in the background. It's beautiful, and we need to take time to, really concentrate on those things,
Yeah.
I think, in life.
Yes, indeed. Now, Ariella, you take on passion. How passion is important to our health and well-being.
Right. Yes, you get it. Um, sorry about that. Hold on. The other one. Sorry, but
Okay.
what brings passion to me is, it's like what Jackie just touched on. For me, I apologize. My son came in here asking me if he could borrow a pillow, and I was trying to show him which one to use. So to me, never give up passion, whether it's relationships with people or whether you're finally figuring out your creativity, what side you're drawn to, things like that. So with me, as of recently, I'd say this probably since 2015, my passion has been connecting with people on social media worldwide, and what brings me pleasure is helping them, uplifting them, and not wanting anything in return. Because I'll just be honest, some people I've crossed paths with, want to help people and say, well, what's in it for me? Me. And it's like, that's not what we should be doing this for. I've had people, I wish they would comment on my YouTube page to say this, but I love it when they comment, on the Facebook or other social media ways. But they say how much my podcast, especially in the twin flame or soul connection area, is inspiring them, and they were looking for answers, and it's the way I present it. And I don't like going back and listening to my own voice. That drives me crazy. It's like an actor or actress watching themselves on screen. It's like, I can't do it. But I have that passion, like I'm helping somebody. Even if they tell me that particular thing just made my day, or what you said about whatever it is, that really enlightened me. If I touch that one person, even if, say, 10 people viewed it and I only hear that one response, I did my job. And it's not really a job, it's a lifestyle. It's like, this is what brings me happiness, and I'm connecting to the earth that way. And I'm sure Gary and Jackie could agree as far as helping other people, and just because we love to do so. And By the way, Gary, I do agree. Oh, and to answer this lady's question too, yes, I'm in the Austin, Texas area in the United States because they asked me, I saw in the comments where I'm located. I'm in the Texas area and it's humid here as well, but different humid than Gary's location. But get to the point again, just do the passion that feels right to you. Even if people don't understand what you're doing or don't support you, don't box it in, don't bury it, because if you do, your soul, your energy, this passion is going to rise above it where you can't bury it any further. At least it did for me. And that's when I owe it to myself to embrace that, and again, to help others. So that's my passion, is just helping others and letting that energy flow. And yeah, so that's what I'll share about with that. And when I do that, that actually, relationship wise, it's like connect the dots, it's like you're helping somebody else and it goes to somebody else and it comes back full circle, at least in my experience. So you can help somebody you not even realize you're helping. That, it's like I don't even know them and I'm still helping them. So I hope that explains it.
Yes, indeed. And Gary, passion is everything, isn't
Oh my
it?
God. Yeah. How many, you've seen the things I do. Okay. I mean,
Yes.
from building fences to fixing a dollhouse to building a garden to working with aromatherapy. I haven't shown you how I can cook. I can cook very good. Okay. Passion is everything. It's in everything. It's in the moment that I wake to the moment that I sleep. It's in what I see within myself. It's what I see with what I'm capable of creating. In fact, it's quite simple. Free your spirit, dance with life. I say it many times. Okay? Find passion in everything, because then you're not in boredom. You're not in, a stagnant energy, because you put passion into it. A grocery clerk can have passion just as much as a garbage can collector can have passion. Somebody say, well, how can I have passion? Well, you know what? I see the guy that collects the garbage. He's whistling. He smiles. He says hello, and he picks it up and he dances with the garbage can and he dumps it off. I mean, passion's everything. Passion in what we love, who we love. You love them passionately, even if it's for a short period of time. Because when you've given passion to it, you've freed yourself. It's not obligation. If you look at your job as an obligation, then you're miserable. But if you put passion into that job, you're going to be less miserable, even if you maybe don't like it, but at least put passion into it. Passion comes from here, the heart. You ignite passion, you ignite heart. You open your heart. You have passion for the nature, you have passion for life, you have passion for children, you have passion for everything that is beautiful around you, and your eyesight opens wider. You see more, you feel more, because passion is part of what makes you alive. If you have no passion, how can you be alive? You're just waiting to go to sleep, start all over again the next day. Okay? No. Change the story. Put passion into it. Put passion into brushing your teeth. Don't brush them too hard. It's everything with limits. Don't put passion to blind yourself. Okay, and what I mean by that is that sometimes we go about loving somebody so passionately that we don't see the mistakes we're making. We're being foolhardy about it. We're being non-attentive to it. Be passionate. Be aware. Be aware of your gestures, your words, your actions, how you are with yourself, how you are with your loved ones, how you are with God, okay, and the belief that you have. Feel it, live it, and then smile. Well, dance a little bit. Do a little jig, right? Right. Jackie, put on the red dress and
Yes.
do a little jig. Okay.
Yes,
You know,
indeed.
we say,
Yeah.
there's a saying that we
Doing.
say, excuse me, a saying that is said, dance like nobody's watching. Why? Why not open up your curtains and let people see that you're dancing? Say, you know what? I'm dancing. Join in. Change the
Yes, indeed.
change the
Yes,
narrative.
indeed. Yes, indeed, Gary. The things we do going live, selecting the topic, and doing this is also a passion. And the final element in the development of healthy lifestyle is sleep. 6 to 8 hours of sleep makes you ready for the next day. And Gary, Jackie, you talk about sleep, the significant sleep in our lifestyle.
Well, sleep, it's very overrated in some respects, isn't it? You need, it's the same as eating. You eat when you're hungry, sleep when you need sleep, do things when you feel your body needs these things. We're all so unique and individual, and we've been put in boxes, this is how much for the idea. Well, who says?
Mhm.
Who says? Like, I sometimes need 5 hours sleep and wake with the sun. Sometimes I need to sleep 10 hours. Like, do what is right for you at the time, and same with water. People will tell you sometimes drink one liter of water to 22 kilograms of your body weight, or drink 8 glasses of water a day. Just drink when you're thirsty, or when you want water, or when you're desiring it, you feel that desire for water. It's I don't like all these limitations that are given to us. It's like we're programmed again. Oh my gosh, I didn't get 8 hours sleep. Oh, I'm going to be so tired all day today. It's like those little. We've got to really watch what we're listening to and hearing and taking in to our bodies and minds, because it's just it starts ruling what you're doing. It starts driving what you're doing in your life, and it's not productive or efficient or anything for us as unique human beings. It's what you feel. Ask yourself, feel into it, and do what's right for you. Sleep, obviously, we need sleep. Apparently, there's going to come a time where we won't need sleep. So,
Mhm.
you know,
Yes.
I
And
don't know, just do what feels right.
yes, Ariella, talk about sleep. How important it is for our lifestyle and for our well-being.
Yeah, so it is very important. And like we talked about everything else, try to at least have a balance. I mean, I understand what Jackie's saying. Some nights we only get this amount of sleep, other days it could be longer. It depends, but at least try to have a balance in the middle somewhere. At least for me, that's what works out. Now, again, with my sleep, I like a month ago, I was a night owl. I was up overnight. I was loving it. Now I shifted back to day shift, and I'm not liking it at all, but it is what it is, and I had to get used to it and everything. I'm just more of a night person, but I'm allowing that balance. And my sleep schedule, I will say, if I actually get a decent night's sleep and not interrupted, because I hate getting interrupted sleep. I mean, I can just fall asleep like 3-4 hours in, and I get woken up for whatever, and then I'm up for the next hour, and then drift off back to sleep or whatever. But I probably, and again, mine is all with health reasons as well. But mine's probably roughly, between maybe 6 to 12 hours, and sometimes I need less. Like Jackie said, sometimes you need more. But I'd say try to balance it out, because with everything else, whether the water you drink, the food you eat, you just need a nice balance. I think that's the key word with our discussion tonight, is the balance. So that's what I got out of it.
Hmm.
Yes, indeed. And Sydney just asked about my passion. My passion is walking in the country, evening and morning walk, uh, meeting with people, writing, making videos, photography, traveling, and Mother Nature. And also, I love also cooking. Uh, Perhaps I think is surprising to you as a man. Yeah, but I love cooking. Yeah, and the final element we are discussing is sleep. Gary, sleep is a world of dreams. What do
Oh
you
boy,
say on it?
you're gonna ask me about sleep.
Yes.
Um, I think I'm one of the exceptions to that standardization. On average, I'm about 2 to 3 hours of sleep per night, and it's been like that since I was 9 years old. So I'm 60. You do the math. Okay. Sometimes I can sleep, yes, 6, 7 hours because I've expelled a lot of energy, and I expel energy all the time. But on average, my body is requiring 2 to 3 hours of sleep, and the rest of the time I'm involved with passion. I could be doing formulations, I could be out here working in the garden, and many days, and I don't recommend this unless you know yourself well. I can go 3, 4 days without sleep. I've been doing something, I'm involved with something that's got passion, I'm putting into it, and away I go. I don't require that sleep, and then my body will let me know and says, okay, you know what, Gary, that's enough. You hit your limit. Okay, cool. Take some time to relax. Okay, and my relaxation might be 20 minutes dozing in a chair, and that's it. I'm good to go. So that's not everybody. And Jackie, you said there, you had said in your comment, this is that there may be a time that we come where we don't require sleep. Well, you're right. Okay, your energy doesn't require sleep. It's constant. It's constant evolving. It's constant movement. It's constant connection. Okay, so this etheric body, this etheric self within you is not sleeping. Even when you're sleeping, it's not sleeping. Okay, your body's resting because it's regenerating. Okay, and my body regenerates as much when I'm awake as when I am in that couple of hours of sleep. And that is, my perspective and how I work and how I am. And some people will say, well, Gary, you need more sleep than that. Well, no, I don't. It's like telling me I need to eat more food. No, I eat what I need to eat and I sleep when I need to sleep, and that's it. Nothing more, nothing less. Okay, and I think the more heightened your spirituality is, the more that you want to experience life. Okay, I sit here, I watch the stars at night. I watch the moon. I watch the sprites, and sometimes I got fairies and other things going on. That's a whole other discussion. Okay, we'll talk about that in another realm. Okay, but I'm taking the moment to appreciate life. Like if I sleep 8 hours, I missed something. Seriously, there could have been a shooting star that I missed. Well, if I'm out here and I saw the shooting star, well, I got great appreciation for that shooting star because I got to see it. I got to see the sunrise. I got to see the moons change. I got to see many, many, many things because I'm more in that more awoken state of where I am, where my body is, and where my energy is. And I don't want to miss things. The birds are chirping at 3 o'clock in the morning, believe it or not. They're supposed to be sleeping, people say. Well, no, they're talking. Okay. There's birds flying in the middle of the night. There's many things that are going on that we're not seeing, and the energy that's happening certain times of the morning, 2:30, 2:33, 3:33, and certain things when portals and more energy flow is open. So I want to be with that energy flow, and I don't want to miss it. My perspective, of course.
Yes, indeed. And Jackie, your final thoughts on the principle of healthy lifestyle and well-being. Jackie, can you hear me?
I think she
With
froze. Oh,
ourselves and just
there she goes.
Yeah, yeah.
you
Uh,
here.
yes, the principle of healthy lifestyle and
I'll
well-being.
just
Your final thoughts.
yeah. I was just
Your final thoughts. I think,
yeah. There's lots of different elements that come into it, isn't there? But I think you hear me or not.
Yep.
yes, we can hear you.
Yep. Okay. Sorry, my internet's playing up a little bit, I think. Yeah,
Mhm.
I think that just going back to the same thing that I was just saying, it's just constant, just go within yourself and just see what sits right for you. But then obviously, start breathing deep, be really conscious and aware of things around you, be grateful, get the sunshine, the water, the air, the food that you need to maintain your physical body and and keep all that going in your energy. And as Gary was saying, it's all about kind of resting your body. As long as your body gets rest, you don't necessarily need sleep for a long period of time. But then again, I know Carol was saying she loves her sleep, because of the, all the dreams and the different, that's a whole different other issue that you can go into. But yeah, just listen to your needs. Just sit with your body and just go with that and do what you know is right for you. That's all it comes down to. That's all if you're in toxic relationships and things like that, try and fix things up. If anything's not working out for you in your life, try and fix it up and do better for it in your life so that you're not getting that stuck energy, creating dis-ease in your body so that you can keep your well-being going. Yeah.
Yes,
Beautiful.
indeed. And Ariella, your final thoughts.
Well, again, my final thoughts is what I said earlier with my last question. I think with everything we talked about tonight, it's about balance, finding that balance in everything that you do. So that's my final thought.
Yes, and getting your final thoughts in developing a healthy lifestyle and well-being.
One phrase: free your spirit, dance with life. When you do this, you'll find balance. You'll find balance with your foods, your relationships, everything. Just free your spirit, understand your spirit, and allow yourself to dance with life.
I like that.
Yes, indeed. And free your spirits and dance with life. Excellent. And thank you, Carol. Thank you, Jenny. Thank you, Sydney. And thank you, other people, for joining us, for your wonderful comments. And we had a great discussion on the developing a healthy lifestyle. We talked about the 8 elements that are significant, that play a significant role in developing a healthy lifestyle along with food, diet, and nutrition. And we had a great discussion on it. We discussed all of those elements: air, water, sunshine, organic food, raw food that you grow in your garden, relationships, passion, and sleep. All of these elements, they play a significant role in developing your lifestyle along with food, diet, and nutrition.
Yeah,
And thank you, guys. Thank you, Carol, Sydney, Jenny, other people for joining us. Thank you, Melissa, Amanda. My apologies if I missed anyone's name. And all of you guys are wonderful. Thank you for sharing it. And we'll come back next week with some other topic. And if you have any questions, just leave it in the comment box below. I'll answer it to you. Gary, Jackie, Ariella would get back to you as soon as they can. Thank you. Have a
definitely.
good day, good night, good afternoon,
Namaste.
wherever you are.